Chapter 14. The Warm Before the End, Camp. Clyde, October 23, 2027, 7 a.m. The camp woke up to silence. No wind, no ice falling, just a stillness that didn't feel like peace. It felt like a pause. Kendrick stood near the radio tower, reading the new temperature report Mirage decoded from satellite intercepts. The warmth was unnatural.
"This ain't mercy," he muttered. "It's setup. Storm's holding its breath."
Behind him, Keisha stood with a clipboard, directing dozens of survivors in packing essentials.
"We can't ride this tunnel forever," she said. "We head north in 72 hours. Anyone who stays buried."
Keisha's journal, entry 1.
Day 1 of evacuation prep. We've lost good people. Clyde, Mr. Alvin, Risa, Munchie, even him. But we've gained something too. Voice. Vision. If this story gets told after, I want it told right. We weren't just survivors. We were architects of the future.
Zion's corner of the tunnel, the Keys unit. Zion's small team of youth had grown from 4 to 12. They trained daily. Trap setting, map reading, first aid, hand-to-hand survival. But one new recruit stood out, Leah Prince, 14 years old, lost both parents in the second freeze. Sharp, silent, eyes like broken glass and thunder. She volunteered on her own. Zion pulled her aside.
"Why are you here?"
She stared him down.
"Because y'all talk about Clyde like he was a hero. My mom died holding her little sister in a gas station. Nobody came.
She dropped a rusted pocket knife in his hand.
Train me right, or get out the way."
Zion just nodded.
Keys don't get handed out anymore. You earn them.
Underground, Kendrick's hidden room Mirage, and Kendrick cracked open a FEMA laptop recovered from the depot's rubble. After hours of decoding, it opened. A digital map of survivor outposts and FEMA control tests. Cities with shelters that never got help. Places where survivors were monitored, not rescued. At the top of the encrypted file,
Project Winter Pulse. Objective: test long-term urban survival under catastrophic weather conditions. Remove external aid. Introduce threats. Log results.
Kendrick stared at the screen.
"We weren't abandoned. We were an experiment."
South Atlanta, hidden radio station. Same time Lotto and Cato crept through an abandoned office building, following faint audio signals picked up by their scanners. What they found chilled them deeper than the storm. A makeshift studio, walls covered in Brick Nation symbols. Inside, 3 survivors, chained, weak, glassy-eyed, repeating phrases into a mic.
"There is no fire. There is only frost. The storm is truth. The architect is salvation."
Cato pulled his pistol. Lotto unplugged the equipment. They looked at each other.
"He's brainwashing the ones too scared to think," Lotto muttered. "Turning pain into religion."
Cato gritted his teeth. Camp Clyde. That night. At the fire circle, TJ spoke to the camp.
"We found out something today. This whole time, we weren't left behind. We were watched, studied. Our pain was planned. But we're still here."
He looked at the youth.
"Zion's training them. Keisha's leading us out. Kendrick's showing us truth. But what we all need now is unity."
He raised a hand, Clyde's keys wrapped around it.
"When that final storm comes, we meet it with fire in our chest, not fear in our bones."
The crowd erupted, and far off, somewhere unknown. The architect watched from a drone feed. He sipped something warm, smiled.
"Let them have their moment. The last warmth is always the sweetest."
Chapter 15. Project Winter Pulse Camp Clyde, October 24, 2027, 6:20 a.m. Keisha stood in the center of the underground planning chamber, a former subway car turned council room, surrounded by maps, schedules, and survivor logs. She looked at the faces of her council. Kendrick Waters, Zion Hartfield, Mirage, Lotto Savage, Cato, Ms. Rell, a 52-year-old former school principal who handled food and child welfare, Dale Knox, ex-National Guard, recently promoted to lead transport logistics, They were the brain behind the movement north, and one of them had already sold them out. 3 hours earlier, Kendrick's quarters Mirage passed Kendrick a cracked tablet pulled from a dormant Brick Nation drone. Inside, a message file labeled Phase 4, Fire Migration Intercept, Route Leaked by K-Delta Contact, K-Delta. Council member. Encrypted GPS data showed an ambush planned exactly along the survivor convoy route north, complete with sniper nests and thermal charges. Kendrick stood up slow.
We got a Judas in the circle.
Back to the council, 6:23 a.m. Keisha slammed a wrench on the table.
Somebody in this room gave away our next route.
Everyone stared at each other. Zion's hand hovered near his sidearm. Ms. Rell shook her head.
That's not possible. You told us all separately.
Kendrick nodded.
Exactly. We gave each member a different version of the route map. Minor detours, different gas stops, changed city checkpoints.
He tossed the drone log on the table.
Only Dale Knox's version matches the GPS in Brick Nation's ambush plans.
The room went silent. Dale didn't flinch.
You can't be serious. I fought for this camp.
Mirage stepped closer, voice like cut glass.
You fought because we fed you, but your loyalty was leased.
Dale reached for his coat. Zion already had his gun drawn.
Try it.
Keisha nodded once.
You got 30 seconds to explain, Dale? Or we're sending your ashes back in the architect's next supply box.
Dale's confession.
My wife and son are in an architect-controlled zone outside Albany. They offered me proof of life. Said they'd deliver them here, if I fed updates. I never thought they'd move so fast. I never gave them exact times.
Zion cut him off.
You gave them the doors. They didn't need the keys.
The sentence Cato wanted him dead. Lotto agreed. But Keisha, fire in her chest, tears in her throat, made the final call.
We don't feed traitors to the storm. We feed them to the truth.
Dale was stripped of rank, shackled, and locked in the old janitor supply closet, the one Clyde used to sleep in on double shifts. His punishment? To clean the floors of the shelter daily, not with water, but with stories of the people he endangered. He would record names, write confessions, and when this was all over, his words would live longer than his betrayal. Meanwhile, Aaliyah's first kill Zion and the Keys unit were out training near the edge of the old industrial zone. Suddenly, gunfire. One of the smaller boys, Milo, got clipped in the shoulder. Zion spun, saw a Brick Nation scout charging, but the shot that dropped the enemy? It wasn't Zion's. It was Aaliyah's. One clean bullet from a rusted revolver. She didn't cry. She walked over, picked up the shell, and handed it to Milo.
Keep it,
She said.
Means you don't die today.
TJ's Fireline briefing, 9 p.m. The first true Fireline unit was formed, 15 teenagers, trained under Zion, armed and trusted to protect the most vulnerable during the journey north. TJ stood in front of them.
We're not warriors. We're walls, between the weak and the wolves. You see cold, you light fire, you see fear, you walk forward.
Then he handed each of them a single melted key from Clyde's old ring, crafted into necklaces by the camp's metalworker.
You don't wear this for show. You wear it so when death stares you down, you remember what you're defending.
Chapter 16. The Exodus Location, leaving Camp Clyde, Northern Georgia, Route 19. Date, October 25th, 2027, 5:42 a.m. The caravan moved like a serpent of heat through the frost. 4 buses, 3 cargo vans, 2 makeshift trailers pulled by retrofitted trucks. One mission, get north, stay warm, stay alive. Keisha stood on top of the lead vehicle with a bullhorn and binoculars, her voice cutting through the cold air.
All units, stay in line, eyes open. This is no longer a shelter. This is a movement.
TJ rode shotgun in the 3rd bus with the Fireline unit locked and loaded behind him. Aaliyah Lil Fire rode next to him, her revolver holstered, a key necklace glowing in the sunrise light.
Feels too calm,
She said.
That's how traps work,
TJ replied. 5 miles ahead, an abandoned overpass. In the shadows of a crumbled bridge, Brick Nation scouts crouched in position. They wore tattered FEMA jackets and red scarves, weapons wrapped in black plastic to avoid frostbite damage. Their mission wasn't to kill the caravan, it was to bleed it, slow it down, cause panic, and call in the main force. 7:03 a.m., the first shot. A shot rang out. The second cargo van exploded in flames, screams, metal tearing. The caravan halted.
Ambush!
Kendrick shouted from the third vehicle.
Form the circle! Fire line! Get the kids down!
Inside the chaos, TJ kicked the bus door open and hit the snow running. A group of elders had fallen out of the final trailer. Fireline unit members, all under 17, scrambled into position, forming a human barricade with guns and shields. Zion radioed.
South tree line, 4 incoming.
Mirage popped up from behind an overturned generator sled and dropped 2 brick soldiers with precision shots. Aaliyah grabbed Milo, dragging him behind cover just as bullets riddled the road.
I got eyes on snipers. 3rd floor, old motel.
She yelled. TJ turned to her.
Can you make that shot?
She just nodded. Pop. Sniper dropped. Inside bus 1, Dale Knox makes his move. Chained to the emergency rail in the back of bus 1, Dale Knox heard the screams, saw the fire, and made a decision.
Forgiveness ain't earned with silence.
He snapped his thumb out of socket, slid the shackle off, found a toolkit under the back seat, and grabbed a flare gun. Meanwhile, Fireline holds the line. 3 Brick Nation foot soldiers advanced with machetes, yelling war cries. Laya stepped forward, flanked by 2 smaller teens.
We ain't prey.
She fired once, missed, reloaded, fired again, hit. The soldier dropped, then she threw her knife at the second. It stuck in the shoulder, enough for Zion to finish him from a rooftop. Lil Fire, one of the kids shouted. She a damn superhero. Then, boom. An explosion rocked the front of the convoy. Keisha got hit. She collapsed from the platform above the truck. TJ ran through smoke, fire in his lungs. Kendrick met him halfway.
We gotta get her out. Architect's watching this. He wanted this moment.
Suddenly, a red flare lit the sky. Everyone froze. The flare arced, then exploded in the shape of a key. It was Dale Knox, on a nearby ridge, bleeding from a shoulder wound, waving the flare to reveal the sniper unit's full nest.
You want redemption?
He yelled.
Then burn for it.
The Fireline saw the target. TJ nodded.
Light 'em up.
A coordinated assault from Fireline, Zion's Keys unit, and Mirage's sniper crew cleared the ambush. Aftermath, 8:22 a.m. The fires were out. Keisha was alive, grazed, but conscious. 7 survivors were wounded. 1 elder didn't make it. TJ and Aaliyah sat in the snow, blood-stained but breathing. Dale limped toward them, holding up his hands.
I'm not asking to come back in.
Then why'd you come back?
TJ asked. Dale dropped his last medkit at TJ's feet.
Because if you die, we all freeze.
The Fireline held. The traitor earned back fire. And the north, still far, and full of frost. Chapter 17. Lil Fire's Law, Camp on the Move, Georgia Backwoods, October 25th, 2027, 8:42 p.m. They were camped beside an abandoned ranger station, halfway between Columbus and the northern ridgeline. Snow had started to fall again, thick, soft, deadly. But inside the glowing tents, something was changing. Not just survival, structure. Inside the warm tent, Youth Fireline briefing. Aaliyah sat at the center table, flanked by TJ, Zion, and 3 new recruits.
We're not just running anymore, she said. We're responding. We're holding zones. And we're watching ourselves.
She unrolled a handmade scroll with 7 symbols. Lil Fire's Law, code for young defenders. 1. Never shoot without reason. 2. Always save someone smaller. 3. If you freeze, scream loud. 4. Learn something new every day. 5. Bury your dead with honor. 6. Burn no innocent shelter. 7. Die standing. Zion nodded.
These aren't orders. These are oaths.
TJ handed Aaliyah a patch, a stitched flame over a pair of wings.
Fireline Command. You earned it.
Elsewhere, Keisha's video journal face pale, bandage on her ribs, but eyes still fire.
This might be the last entry I make. just in case.
She looked into the camera, eyes glistening.
We've lost so much, but what I see in these kids, what Clyde died for, it's not just heat. It's humanity. If I don't make it, tell them I died believing they'd build a world where warmth didn't need a gun to defend it.
Encrypted channel intercept. Mirage's laptop. A coded drone transmission breaks through.
Project Winter Pulse. Final broadcast. Burn the last light. Thursday, Nov 25, 5:00 p.m. EST primary targets. Stone Ridge survivors. Camp Clyde. Fireline. TJ Waters.
Kendrick's hands clenched.
He's planning a live massacre on Thanksgiving.
TJ stood.
Then we stop the broadcast. We kill the signal. And if he's there, we bury the architect in ice or fire.
Chapter 18. Dead Man's Fire. Northern Georgia. Highway 129. Wreck route. October 26, 2027, 4:43 a.m. The survivor convoy crept through the fog like hunted prey. They had 42 hours before the architect's Burn the Last Light broadcast was set to go live. The fire line was on edge. Mirage rode point. Zion walked rear guard. TJ stood beside Keisha, who now moved with a cane, voice rasped from painkillers and fatigue.
This final stretch, she said. Either we shut him down, or we become part of his show.
Inside cargo truck number 2, Dale Knox's seat. Dale rode alone. He hadn't spoken much since the ambush, but he'd done everything. Repaired engines, guarded elders, carried bodies without complaint. Even Aaliyah, once cold toward him, gave a respectful nod the night before.
You taught me one thing, she said. Redemption don't speak loud. It acts.
Now, in the pre-dawn dark, he heard something. A click under the truck floorboard, then a whirring sound, soft, mechanical. He froze, lifted the panel. A bomb, wired to GPS. He radioed Mirage instantly.
Got a frostbite rig in truck 2. Proximity armed. Triggered when we hit the tower's GPS grid. It's real.
Mirage's voice shook.
Can you defuse it?
Dale looked down. Wires twisted like vines. Brick Nation tech, crude, dirty, deadly on purpose.
No time.
He pulled the mic close.
I'm rerouting.
Camp radio tent, 4:58 a.m. Panic erupted.
We can evac the truck. Cut the power line. Dale, wait.
TJ's voice cut through.
Dale, don't do this unless it's the only way.
Dale smiled, steering the truck off-road toward the rising tree line.
Tell Clyde I'm cleaning up my mess. And tell those kids, my fire came late, but I lit it anyway.
Explosion, 5:03 a.m. A fireball lit up the Georgia skyline. The bomb detonated mid-turn, far from the convoy, directly over a Brick Nation drone relay outpost. 3 scouts died instantly. The drone link fried, and the architect's countdown staggered. Zion found Dale's body cam 3 hours later, ejected from the blast zone. He brought it to TJ. They played the final 12 seconds.
You don't gotta be a hero to help. Just gotta stop running. I stopped. Let that mean something.
TJ didn't speak for a long time, then turned to Zion.
Let's end this.
Later that night, survivor camp outside Tower Ridge. The final staging camp was built. A small underground network of tunnels, natural caves, and gutted buildings. TJ gathered the core crew. Aaliyah, Lil Fire, Zion and the Keys unit, Mirage, Sniper, Keisha, Council Leader, barely holding on, Kendrick, Intel, Explosives.
We strike tomorrow, TJ said. One day before Thanksgiving. One day before he tries to burn the last light.
He held up Dale's dog tags.
We don't run, we rise.
Chapter 19. The Final Signal, Northern Georgia, outskirts of Broadcast Tower Omega, November 24th, 2027, 4:01 a.m. A thin layer of snow coated the broken concrete. The fire line, now a trained unit of 16, moved through the shadows like ghosts. At the front, TJ, silent but focused. Behind him, Zion and Aaliyah, eyes like steel. Mirage moved above through the tree line, her sniper scope tracing every corner. They were 2 clicks out from Tower Omega, the architect's final fortress, hidden within a decommissioned federal weather station. By nightfall, he would broadcast Burn the last light, a global signal meant to demoralize, discredit, and detonate the last survivor's hope. They had to stop him before then. 4:13 a.m., perimeter breach. Zion disabled the external motion sensors. Aaliyah knelt by the first checkpoint.
3 inside, teenagers, maybe 15 or 16, all marked BN, 1 armed, 2 asleep.
TJ looked to her.
You want me to handle it?
She shook her head.
I got this.
She slid into the tent like smoke. One moved, reaching for a knife. She fired once. Pop. Headshot. The second teen lunged. She dropped him with a shot to the throat. The third, a girl, hands up, crying.
I didn't choose this. I was born into it. Please.
Aaliyah raised her gun, fingers tight, heart pounding.
My mom begged like that in a gas station. Nobody listened.
TJ stood at the tent entrance, eyes locked on her.
It's your call,
the girl whispered.
I didn't even fire a shot.
Aaliyah pulled the trigger. Pop. Silence. Outside, she walked out of the tent slow, steam rising from her breath. Zion didn't speak. Mirage didn't flinch. TJ only said,
You still with us?
She nodded.
Still burning.
5 a.m., Tower Omega Interior. Inside the tower, they moved like blood through veins. They passed through. Cold propaganda rooms with fake Clyde voiceovers. Survivor recordings, twisted into shame. Blueprints for psychological warfare. Mirage grabbed one tape, marked Fireline Failure File DAO 1. She crushed it under her boot.
We tell our own story.
5:17 a.m., the signal chamber. TJ kicked in the final door. Inside, the architect, standing calmly in front of a wall of flickering monitors. He was alone. Burned face, gloved hands, voice calm.
You're early.
TJ raised his rifle.
You're done.
The architect laughed.
No. You're not here to kill me. You're here to prove I was wrong.
He pulled out a detonator.
But what if I told you the broadcast already started?
The room lit red.
You kill me now. The whole tower melts. You let me speak. The world hears your fire.
A standoff, TJ breathed.
You want to show them what heat looks like?
He turned to Aaliyah.
Lil Fire, show him.
She stepped forward, looked the architect in the eyes, raised the gun.
Clyde died for warmth. You live for cold.
Pop. Headshot. The architect's body collapsed against the console. Mirage grabbed the detonator, disarmed it. The countdown froze at 00:13. Chapter 20. The Last Broadcast Tower Omega, November 24th, 2027, 6:01 a.m. The tower was quiet now. No alarms, no static, no architect, just survivors. TJ stood in front of the ancient broadcast console, now rewired by Mirage, flames crackling behind him in a repurposed furnace built from Brick Nation scrap. The architect's empire of frost was gone, and the world was finally listening. 6:05 a.m., the final broadcast begins. Screens across the southeast flickered to life, in shelters, in bunkers, in FEMA facilities still clinging to order, even in Brick Nation safe zones where young soldiers had once been told to kill warmth and obey ice. A new signal now played. TJ steps into the frame. No armor, no guns, just Clyde's keys around his neck and fire behind his eyes.
If you're hearing this, you survived something no man ever should have designed. They told us the cold was natural, that the storm was bigger than us, that we had to choose between obedience and extinction. But here's the truth.
He held up Clyde's keys.
The warmth never left. It just needed someone to carry it. We lost elders. We lost friends. We lost cities. But what we didn't lose was each other.
Cut to Aaliyah, Lil Fire. She stands beside Zion and the Fireline unit, snow falling gently around them. She speaks.
I was 14 when I picked up a gun. I didn't want to survive. I wanted revenge. But then, I found something better. I found purpose. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing.
Cut to Keisha, seated, weak but smiling.
We built Camp Clyde with our bare hands. We led with stories, with music, with memories. To every survivor camp out there, you are not alone.
Then, the screen goes black for 3 seconds. A single phrase appears in white.
We carry the fire.
Then, a slow scroll begins. The names: Clyde M. Lewis, Dale Knox, Kayla Monroe, Mr. Alvin, Munchie Hartfield, Lil J, Risa Gold, Jamar the Mechanic, Big Tone, Dr. Mila Rhodes, in memory, and hundreds more. Final scene, 24 hours later. The fire line buries the architect beneath a frozen oak. No marker, no prayer, just silence. TJ walks to the edge of the ridge with Zion and Aaliyah.
What now?
Zion asks. TJ takes the keys from his neck, places them in Aaliyah's hand.
Now we build, and this time,